a very warm welcome. In today's video, we're talking George Russell. Is he going to get the respect he deserves? He's beaten Lewis Hamilton 2 out of 3 seasons, and Lewis Hamilton is supposed to be the GOAT, the all-time pole holder, all-time race wins, and George Russell has beat him 2 out of 3. George Russell caused massive headlines as he called out Max the other week and said Max was a bully. So I don't think George is going to get the credit he deserves, but he had a great 2024 season. To beat Lewis Hamilton is impressive. And you're going to get the Team LH out in their forces, probably in there with their diversity bandwagon. Oh, the setups were different. Yes, Mercedes were benefiting George as Lewis left. The excuses will be coming out. Yeah. The setups, the cars are different. Lewis is finished, but he'll be back in Ferrari. The usual excuses will be out. George Russell can only beat what's in front of him. And what's in front of him is the GOAT. Many people say he's the GOAT. Lewis Hamilton, greatest of all time. And George Russell's dismantled him 2 seasons out of 3. That is impressive. Very impressive. He will not get the credit because it's Lewis Hamilton. And Lewis is guilty of this because he always, when George does well, he deflects away from George's performance because he loves the attention. And this is a big problem. And all the Lewis fans fall for his every word. Oh, the cars were different. The setups. George went with a different setup. And P1 in practice one, but I'm going to change the car's setup. It's nonsense. And Team LH fall for his every word. So normal excuses, setups, Lewis finished, and Merca favouring him, but Russell has done it. On paper, he finished 6th, Lewis 7th, but yeah, very impressive. Russell, this season, has dismantled Lewis Hamilton, dismantled him. Not only in the races, not only in the drivers, in qualifying as well. All round, George Russell smacked Lewis Hamilton, all about, like his little toy. Russell has dismantled him. And this is impressive. And this is why he deserves credit massively for beating Lewis. And people are going to say Lewis is finished. And what? And what? Russell can only beat who's in front of him. Yuki Tsunoda the same. Daniel Ricciardo's finished. And what? And what? What is your point? You can only beat your teammates, your benchmark. You can only beat your teammate. Especially Mercedes, they were not competitive. They couldn't fight for the title. They couldn't really fight for wins. Yes, they both got 2 wins apiece, Lewis and George. But yeah, George did actually win 3, but he got disqualified from 1. The biggest surprise for me this season is qualifying. Lewis Hamilton, all-time pole holder. Wow. George Russell. Wow, wow, wow. The statistics in qualifying this season. Wow. And I had people saying, why have you got Lewis on worst driver? I did a community post and I put Lewis down in the drivers as worst driver. And this is the reason why. His qualifying was disgraceful. His all-round season was disgraceful. His worst in Formula 1. But, of course, you can't criticise Lewis Hamilton. Well, I can, because I say it how I see it. George Russell, 19.5 in qualifying. 19.5. Wow. And sprint qualifying 5.1. Impressive. This is George Russell. In the races, it's 13.7 to George Russell. Impressive again. 13.7, that can't be right because we've got 24 rounds. Don't know. 13.7, so even if I'll have to look at that stat after this video. Yeah, 13.7 can't be right. It's got to be 24. So even if Lewis has won, yeah, 13, it can only go to 11. So George has won that anyway, no matter, even if that's 13.11. Lewis did beat him in Abu Dhabi, so that will be him. Overall, George Russell, 6 in the drivers, 245. Lewis, 223. Yeah. It's impressive. George Russell, yeah, he got a lot of hate calling out Max the other week, but let's have a reality check. He has dismantled one of the best drivers of all time. He's won in Austria. Obviously, he was helped by Max and Norris's collision. He won in Vegas and he won in Spa, but got disqualified. Spa's world class. It is world class. He gambled, his tyre management, he schooled everyone, but obviously got disqualified. 4 podiums for the season. Mercedes nowhere near the title fight, not good enough on a consistent basis, and this is the problem. George Russell has gone to Mercedes at the worst time because they're not fighting at the front anymore. George Russell needs a title winning car, but Lewis Hamilton has left for a reason, so George Russell's probably not going to get that title winning car. Yeah, we can't judge George Russell really. Of course you can have an opinion on him, but we can't really judge him till he's been in that title fight. Can he handle a title fight? Has he got the minerals to take on Max? He's got the minerals to take on Lewis, so I've been impressed with George Russell. He's had a great season. A great season. Lewis has left Mercedes for a reason. He doesn't see progress. He doesn't see them winning anytime soon. So that's a big worry for George. Of course, Russell's not inept from criticism. He needs to cut out mistakes. He does bottle on the odd occasion. Singapore was one of them. Silly mistakes. But overall this season he's done well. Obviously he had that massive crash at Australia following Alonso. But yeah, Mercedes need to produce this guy with a car. Obviously he's up against a hungry rookie next year in Kimi Antonelli. Russell has to dispatch Kimi Antonelli by a good 100-200 points. Because he's experienced. Russell learned his trade at Williams and then got the big promotion to Mercedes. But like I said before, he's come at Mercedes at the worst time. Yeah, my only worry with Russell is bottling nature. Like, for instance, we hammer Lando Norris for basically bottling the drivers. If that was Russell this season, would he do the same? Because he has got a bottle in him. Future world champion. Now, I've got doubts, but I did say George Russell would be a future world champion. You got to believe, out of the Brits, Russell is the best bet for an ex-UK world champion. Obviously, Lewis is already a champion, so if we don't count Lewis, yeah. Russell, really good season, exceptional. To be a 7-time champion, dismantled him, quali, the race, and in the drivers. Comment down below your thoughts. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get the credit in the comments. People are going to call him a snake for what he did, bitching and whining about Max in steward's room at Qatar. So, yeah, comment down below your thoughts. Yeah, I say it how I see it. Obviously, I am a Russell fan, but you criticise him. But he's had an exceptional season. There's no getting away from it. Brilliant by George. Only 45 points off Carlos Sainz. Mercedes, 4th fastest car all season. Impressive Russ.